I know most of this is going to go on a recording too. So those of you that are on live, thanks for being here live. Diane, let's just jump in and go for it. I'll let you start. I know we're on our Zoom, but I know this is for your Lincoln event. So I'll just let you kind of get started and bring me in as you like.
Awesome. Well, you're the most important one to be talking here, Keith. So first of all, thank you for your time this morning to get with all of us and talk to us about coming to Lincoln. We are incredibly excited to have you come to Nebraska.
Well, I'm excited to be coming for sure. I'm super, super pumped. These 2-day events, if here's one thing I'm going to tell you. This will show you the value for me personally on these 2-day events. I will never stop doing 2-day live Live Your Greatest Life events because there's a lot of other things in this company other people can do for me, and our staff is amazing. But the thing that I love to do is do these live events because I believe this is in my wheelhouse of the gifting that I've been blessed with, gifts from God to be able to do and move people and show people things that will help them not just live a better life, but grow their business too. So that's my passion around it. So you can probably tell that I'm excited about it. So, but yeah, why don't jump in and ask me anything about the event? Because I know these live Zooms about the events are super valuable because people are always like, well, why should I come? What will I learn? Should I take off work? Is it worth the $85? Which is kind of a joke, but we'll come back to that in a minute. But so ask me anything you want that you think will create value, and I'll try to do as much as I can to share why I think these events are so powerful and the results people have created with them in the past.
Okay, perfect. Well, I had the privilege, and several of us on here this morning we've heard you speak in smaller forums. We've had you for an hour seminar, but talk to us about 2 full days. What are we going to do for 2 full days?
Well, it's amazing because so most people think 2 days is a long period of time. But when you're in the event, 2 days will come and go like that. It'll be like we started and then we finished. But in some respects, because we will cover so much content and the energy that's in that type of an environment, by the end of the second day, it'll actually feel like we've been together for a week or longer because it's such a powerful event. So the event in and of itself is this. Of course, many of you are getting to know me. I know you've known me, like you said, to some of the bigger stages, but shorter periods of time. There's 3 things that I do. I do a lot of keynoting, which is the associations, the keynote stages, like your all seminar or different things I've done with your company. I do a lot of that, both in direct sales, network marketing, done a lot of that in real estate and business and entrepreneurship and any type of group that has a large stage. But then I also do business consulting. I just hung up with a client, just before I came in for this call. I do a lot of executive business consulting and strategic growth plans for companies because I just love working with people and helping even executives get out of their own way so their company can really be and become everything they like it to be. So I do business consulting. But the other thing that I do, the third and final verticals, we have our own curriculum, which is our 2-day Live Your Greatest Life events, our product that most of you are familiar with called Mentorfish. And it's truly, really about how do you get yourself out of your own way? I mean, when I travel and I've met people on the road, over the years, people ask me, what do you do? And I've been called a lot of things in my life. Most of them have been good, though. A motivator, a trainer, a speaker, a keynoter, minister, all these different names and titles people have given over the years. But if people ask me what I do, I answer like this. I help people discover why they're not doing what they already know they could be doing. Does that make sense? So in this particular event, I believe, and I think I mentioned this to you and even Jenna, in this particular event, I think the majority of people are there are going to be in your company or somewhat related to your company. So a lot of this event will be about what's truly holding you back from having your business where you see it in your mind. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because a lot of times when I ask people, hey, where do you want your business to be? And many of you know me enough to know I talk about where do you want your business to be in 36 months? They have this picture of like, hey, I want my business to be here. I want my income to be here. I want my monthly sponsorship and my onboarding to be here. And when they have that picture of where their business, where they would like to be is way over there. And where they're at in the moment is way over there. So there's a gap between where they are and where they'd like to be in the picture of where they want their business to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So the event is about what causes the gaps? What's creating the gap between where you are and where you'd like to be? Because you and I both know most people on this planet sit and think about all the time about where they'd like to be, but they never really get there. Or at best, they have a taste of getting there, or they have a short-term experience of what it feels like to be somewhere different, but they can't maintain it over a long period of time. So this event is really about looking at, if you're really passionate about your business, which I know all of you are, you wouldn't be on here today. But if you're coming to the event, you're really passionate about your business, wouldn't you want to figure out what's keeping you from living the vision of what you know it could be in your mind? That makes sense?
Yes. Oh, yes, it does. And I agree. I think a lot of us have that gap. So talk about, I've had several people ask me about, is this a Christian event? And me personally, knowing you as much as I do, and of course I feel like I know you way better than I probably really do, but I tell them yes. But could you kind of touch on that a little bit for us?
Well, what I always tell is this. Many of you know I have a very strong faith. So my faith is a huge, huge part of my life and a huge part of my success story. I guarantee you it's one of the reasons why I've been so blessed. But I also tell you this, I respect all levels of faith. I don't come with my Bible, and I'm not going to be browbeating people, with the brimstone message of, hell and brimstone type of mentality. But you can't be around me very long and not figure out that I have a very strong faith, that I love my wife and I love my family, and I'm very, very passionate about serving people. But is it a faith-based deal to such a level that people will feel uncomfortable to have a different type of thought pattern? Absolutely not. I mean, in Mentorfish, we have tens of thousands of members from all walks of life, all types of religions, Jewish people, atheists, Muslim, you name it. We've had them all as members. We've had all that kind of diversity in our live audiences. So it's not about me projecting my faith onto people. It's about me walking in what I believe is my truths, and I encourage people to live their truths. And so it's not going to be a situation that would make anybody feel uncomfortable. And yet I don't denounce my faith either to make somebody else feel comfortable. I just say, hey, be passionate about what you're passionate about. No different than, are we going to talk about a lot of network marketing? Possibly. If you're all there and it's all Synergence type based and you all really want to get into business discussions around, hey, how do you apply what I'm teaching to actual business growth? Jenna's been around me for over 12 months now. She's experienced what these principles will bring. Not that her relationship with me is the only reason why she's done everything that she's done in the last 12 months. She's amazing. She's a great trainer. She's got a great foundation. You've got great leadership and great things in your company too. But she is so kindly, giving me a small portion of the credit from the principles of what I teach. Not me, I'm a mouthpiece, but the principles and the strategies that I represent. If we want to get into that kind of stuff, absolutely we can get into that. So I wouldn't feel any less comfortable about my faith than I would talking straight network marketing. And, we're going to address whatever will create the most value of the group of people there that would like to create. So what I'm looking for, if you're asking me, I'm looking for a group of people that want to take their business to another level. Because the principles that I teach, if you use them in business, you can also use those very same things in your personal life. If we're talking about something personal, you can use those very same things in your business life. So the event's not just a rah-rah-ree feel-good event. It's an event about truly how do you get traction and stop talking about where you want to be and actually start creating the action steps that will help you get where you want to be. And how do you get your own self out of the way?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's awesome. I can't wait. And another thing, when we first started talking about doing the event here in Lincoln, I had in my mind thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be expensive, because this kind of an event is an expensive thing. So let's talk about what it costs. You mentioned the $85, but let's talk about why. Sometimes when people look at things and it's not super expensive, they're like, is this going to be worth my trouble?
I cannot tell you how many of my mentors and my quote unquote associates and advisors, now my true mentors, of course, they've left me to support me no matter what decision I make, because they give me their opinions and they'll believe in me no matter what decision and direction I go. But generically over the years, when we switched our business model years ago, I cannot tell you how many people told me I was making a mistake. Because if you go back and really dig into my past, which I encourage all of you to do, you can Google me, you can research me. I love due diligence. The more you do, I think the more higher likely you'll be to show up at the event. But years ago, to be at this exact same 2-day event, we would fill the room literally with hundreds of people at between $500 and $1,000 per head. Mm-hmm. And there's something in people's minds, they think, well, if it costs a lot, then it must be very valuable. And that's why I've seen so many people in my industry That's how they justify $10 and $15 and $20,000 worth of price tags. And people will put it on a credit card because they tell themselves at a human nature level, it's good. They put more hope in it changing their lives because it costs them so much versus really looking at the value is in it and if it can really move them or not. And so years ago, I went to a cause-based business model. We went from $500 to $1,000 to $75 and $85 because I've had a personal commitment in my life that when I finally realized that people who need access to these principles the most are normally the people who cannot afford them the most. So I beg people, and again, I've had mentors and associates say, Keith, if you just if you just raise the price again, you'd fill rooms of 200 and 300. Well, that probably is the truth, but that goes against what I've dedicated this company to becoming into the future, to being a cause-based business, not just another typical seminar to seminar to seminar company. So please do not misdiagnose the value of this event because it's $85. If you want to go into debt, call my company up and I'll happily run your credit card for $500. That makes you feel better and more confident in coming. I gave 100% guarantee then, and I still give 100% guarantee on the value. But please don't misdiagnose it because it is only $85. I essentially do these events at a wash for the hope of building a relationship with people in the future, whether it be through Mentorfish or maybe the speaking clinic or just ongoing growth of the overall brand, because my mission has become more of a economies of scale business model where I'm on a mission to educate everybody everywhere, excluding no one to live their greatest life. And I'm past the point in my life where the finances of the model or the business model is the only reason why I make a decision. This is truly about serving people. So I'll put that out to people that are considering it. It's an amazing event. Please do not misdiagnose it because of our cause and our heart to reach and serve more people. That's really about all I can say to it, other than raising the price and then people are like, oh yeah, I should go because it must be valuable because I'm having to spend $300 to $500 or $1,000 to get there.
Exactly. Well, and I, like I said, I have had the privilege of hearing you speak. So I knew that there was more value than $85 worth, but I wanted you to talk about that. If there are people that are not necessarily direct sales, I mean, like you said, a lot of us are with Synergents, but I've reached out to a lot of the real estate, some of the self-employed people that, are trying to build their businesses, which, I mean, I feel like that still will help them, but can you kind of address that, whether it's not necessarily direct sales, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, absolutely. I mean, when you teach a set of principles and strategies that create growth in life, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're applying them to your marriage. And even though I'm getting ready to do a 90-day marriage boot camp here, starting tomorrow, actually. It doesn't matter if you're applying to your network marketing company, your real estate company, your own entrepreneurial endeavors, because it's the same thing that holds us all back. We always think it's something different, but there are a set of principles and strategies that when implemented continually, consistently in your life will bring growth to all areas of your life. And I don't care what walk of life you're in, I teach just as much about balance as I do about business because no business is worth having if it costs you balance in your life. So whether it's your finances, your faith, your relationships, your fitness and your health, all those different areas, how do you apply these principles to your life? Because see, the reason why most people are not living the life they want, that's why I call it greatness. So I'm going to kind of put greatness as a word over the umbrella over whatever industry you're in, whether it's direct sales, network marketing, whether it's real estate, whether it's entrepreneurship, or you're just looking for personal growth in your life and leadership or professional development training. I call all those things greatness because that's what I'm on a mission to do, to help people live their greatest life. Well, I can't define what greatness is for everybody. It's something different for everyone. But the exciting part is it's the same principles and strategies that will unlock that greatness in everyone, no matter what that specific greatness is that they're walking in. Because I can ask you all right now, in one area of your life or another, and you can fill in the blank on whatever that area is, can you already acknowledge that you know you're not doing something you know you could be doing in that particular area? The answer is always yes.
Yes.
But the question that nobody really seeks out is, why do I know what to do, but I still won't do it? That's that invisible, intangible thing that's unfortunately embedded into our human nature that can rob us of living our greatest life. So what I always tell people, if you're looking for results, however you want to define results, if you're looking to if you want to get zeroed in specifically on your Synergents business, and of course, if you've heard me speak on this at all, the specific part of your business that I would help you in, probably very specifically the 2-day event, is onboarding and sponsoring, and how do you truly grow your business and get more people into your business. It'll be a very valuable event. You can also take it to whatever level of growth you want to have in any area of your life. So if you're looking for growth, fulfillment, happiness, or joy, this event is still the most powerful event, in my opinion, you can attend right now. I mean, I don't like saying stuff like this, because then if people hear it the wrong way, then they start thinking, oh, well, Keith, you're just patting yourself on your own back, or, that's your ego or pride. And for those of you that know me, no, that's not the case, but I have a true heart to serve people. We had feedback recently of an event. A lady came up afterwards. She goes, listen, I've been to Tony Robbins. I've been to John Maxwell. I got more out of 2 days with you out of I did in Tony's 5-day deal and a 6-month coaching program with John Maxwell. And I got more of your 2-day event than I did out of both those things combined. And they weren't ripping on those guys. I love those guys. They're both very valuable. But I've been called the shorter, non-cursing, affordable version of Tony Robbins quite often. So it's that kind of event. And here's the deal too, because I know it's Thursday and Friday. That always comes up. People have to take off work and these different things. And hear my heart when I say this. Number one, if you have a company, most people will give you professional time off because it's a leadership event. We can send you a receipt, something to show your company that you've attended. And sometimes they'll even pay for it. Most of the time they'll give you the time off of work for it. Most of you that are in Synergence, at some level or another, whether it's a business you're wanting to start, or you're in Synergence, or it's a real estate person, or whatever it may be, I know most people have a long-term vision that they're in this opportunity because they know that'll help them get out of their quote-unquote day-to-day job 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. It'll bring that financial freedom, the time freedom, the residual income, and that's one of the whole goals. So I always encourage people, don't not take off 2 days to invest into your business from the job you're trying to leave behind forever, sooner or later. Does that make sense? I mean, even if you had to take vacation days or non-paid time, I can promise you, hopefully I can say this and you hear my heart the right way. People have taken off time for lesser important things than something of this nature, not because I'm saying it's important because I'm coming. I'm saying it's important because of the principles and strategies that I'll be representing when I come. Does that make sense? Am I communicating that clearly from a place of serving? So yes. My point is, whatever excuse you're using not to come is probably the exact reason why you should be at the event. You're just telling yourself, I can't afford to take off 2 days of work. Then that should be the reason you're at the event. If you're saying, I can't afford to miss the 2 days of pay, I can't afford to miss that in my paycheck, that should definitely be a reason you come to the event. Because those are all things that through your Synergence business that you can overcome. And those are all things, if you're that tight and you're that stressed about 2 days of work and the revenue from those 2 days of work, you deserve to live your life at a different level. I call that level of greatness. And that's exactly what the event is designed to do, to help people take their results to a level that prior to attending the event, they've never experienced.
Yes.
I can fast, long, easy. These are good questions. I'm almost starting the event right now. I'm not supposed to be up there for another 2 weeks.
Well, and I'm running out of questions. So what else you got?
Well, all I can say generically is this. I assume most people process things like I do. They want to know if they're going to take the time and energy to be there, what are they going to get in the return? Should I miss 2 days worth of work? I get it. You're probably going to have to do something that's going to put you in a little bit of discomfort to make it happen. Because if you didn't, everybody would be doing it. But if you're not going to do something different to make something happen, I'm okay with it. There's no judgment. But then you probably should get comfortable living in the circumstances that you're in right now, because they're probably not going to change until you do something different than you're used to doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I tell everybody this. If you come to the event and you don't create value, however you define the value, I'm not even going to make you define it. However you define it, if you don't create value, just give me a secret sign on the way out, a wink or something special that I know. Give me 2 thumbs down or give me something, and I'll make a note of who you are, and I'll have my office send you your whole $85 back to refund the time for being there. I mean, there's not much. I bribed somebody one time to come. I said, I'll pay you whatever you're missing at your work. I'll pay you 2 days of your wages, because this person, I could tell they really needed it. And I just felt in my spirit to bless them. I said, well, listen, if you don't come, I'll refund your money and I'll pay you the 2 days worth of your wages that you missed at your job. That's how I'm confident, not because it's me, because I've seen what these principles and strategies will do in people's lives. So if you're anything like me, you're basically wanting to know is it worth the time? Is it worth the time?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can say is yes, from my own personal opinion, but more importantly, my own personal opinion, go do your due diligence. Go to keithkochner.com, read some of the testimonies of other people that I've spoken with in the industry, read testimonies from people that have participated in the event or an event like this with me before. And their testimonies are not like, oh, we love Keith, you should just go, please go. It's not that kind of a testimony. It has meat to it. And you can tell they had an experience that from that moment on is going to impact their business, their life, or their marriage to live at a different level that they've been trying to get to that they had not yet experienced. And that's why I'll never stop doing these events. I'm very, very passionate about the events. They're the one thing that I know I'll never stop, because I believe these events are one of the reasons why I'm on the planet. So that's the level of passion and value I placed on them. You've seen me speak to audiences of thousands of people. I'll speak to audiences of one people, because these principles changed my life. They helped me go from a point A to a point B. And who doesn't want to experience that? So my main thing would be anything that you're using an excuse not to come is probably the exact reason why you should come. And I triple dog dare you to test me. Don't trust me. Most of you don't know me. Test me. Be there. Or listen to go research the other 20 or 30 companies I've done events with over the last 2 decades and see what the reputation of growth is. I know we have personal testimonies from your company. I know Jenna's had some great results. So talk to people that have been to the event. And if you want similar results, come on out and join us. I'd love to have you there, whether it's this event or any of my other events that are coming up that I know some of your people in your company are hosting. Come on out, whether it's in Lincoln, I think I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. I think I'm going to be in Green Bay, Chicago, South Carolina, different places coming up. So wherever you are, come to the event. You want to have growth in your business. I can't force you to do what I'm telling you to do, but based on our track record and the feedback we've gotten, I can almost virtually guarantee that you will create results in your business that you've probably been working for or wanting for quite some time once you've attended the event.
I would have to agree wholeheartedly. Thank you for sharing your heart with us. I appreciate that. I always feel like when we talk to you that you totally speak from your heart, and I appreciate that 100%.
I learned many years ago, the easiest thing to do is just to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really funny is as much as you feel that, and the people that have known me, that's some of the same stuff I'll be teaching in the 2-day event of how you can be, so you can really begin to have that level of connection and authenticity in your business, because that's really what people are looking for when they're considering, do they want to join your business? Do they want to come on board and be a part of your business? They're looking for something they can connect to and trust. And so I'll be, if you all would like to talk about that kind of stuff in the event too, we can talk a lot about that in the 2-day event. Truly, how do you attract people into your business? And so we'll create value on many different levels. So I look forward to come up and serving you. I think it's 2 weeks away from this Thursday and Friday, 2 weeks from this Thursday.
Really?
My mind's a little scrambled already still, because I just got back in from, like I said, 7 weeks of not being in Tulsa.
Yes, 2.5 weeks. You're right.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I can't wait.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey, I just wanted to say something because I know this is going to be recorded. Uh-oh, did I freeze?
No, you're there.
Okay.
Oh, you're there.
So one of the big things that I've been thinking about is how important it is for us to privately message or call people that we feel like this would be, really, here's what happened last time, right? So I invited a lot of people, but since I didn't really know Keith, I hadn't ever heard, anything about his 2-day event before. I was like, well, it's okay. I'll just go and see how it goes. I kid you not, after that first night, I was kicking myself because I knew how much other people would have benefited from this. So what's really on my heart this time around is, we know the value that he is able to provide, not just for us personally, but for our friends, family members. My guess is we all have someone on our mind and on our heart that this is going to be valuable for. And they just need to hear that probably from us, because we're all so different and we are all needing different things. You know, so a couple of my best friends that were there got something completely different from the 2-day event than I did. And that's kind of the beauty of it, you know. So while I took some kind of business building basics from it, they took the core of loving themselves again and wanting to better themselves, and took that and have been building on that for the last year, which to me is just as important, if not more important, than business building basics. So I just want to really encourage everyone who's on here, everyone who watches this on replay, to not let this pass us by, because the chances of us getting Keith back anytime soon are not great, because people are knocking down his door wanting him in their area. So I'm excited about the opportunity and want everyone there with us.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and that says a lot, because a lot of times when we do events like this, people will just put it out and put it on Facebook or put it somewhere and hope people show up. And sometimes it does, but more times than not, it takes what Jenna was just talking about, saying, hey, I'm calling you up again. I really want you to be there. I tell people, you know, do anything short of anything illegal or immoral to get friends and family there, because like she said, if you haven't been to the event, you don't understand what I'm saying, but after you've been there, you're going to say, trust me, you want them to be there. If you've got team members that you want and they want their business to go to the next level over the next 6 to 12 months in a way that it can be sustained and maintained, do anything you can that's legal and moral to get them there. And if it come from a place of passion, come from a place of authenticity, and of course, politeness, but get them there. I can promise you, all I can tell you is, you know, when I was out, before I got to this point in my life, when I was going from event to event to event, and companies would come on and they were promoting them, they were plowing 300 to 500 people in these events nonstop, and the results they would create in their company would be just phenomenal because of my own pace that I've chosen for my life and the time I'm taking with my kids right now and my own just lifestyle. I don't do nearly as many events as I used to. The biggest check doesn't get my attention like it used to. The biggest group doesn't get my attention. I go where I feel led to go, or people feel led to bring me, and bring a group of people together that really want to create a difference. That's what impact and influence is, what gets me awake in the morning now, and not revenue and people. But I say all that to say, trust me, you want people there. Jenna said the same thing in another nice way, and it'll mean more once we're there again. But because of my schedule and everything else, like Jenna said, this would be the event to Lincoln. This is my second time there within a year, which is rare as well. So this would be the event to get into. And if they can't get to this one, then get into one of the other ones that are coming up, et cetera, et cetera. But put and take the time to get them there. We've got 2.5 weeks to invite people and get them to confirm, get them online, get them a seat, follow up with them, make sure they've registered. I think there are even some still group discounts and stuff like that there if they get 3 tickets or 4 or 5 tickets. You want your teams there. I can promise you that. Again, just do due diligence on my experience, and I think that'll speak for itself. You want your teams there for sure, and anyone else that wants to live their greatest life and have fun.
Perfect.
By the way, we have fun. We have a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenna, for jumping in. Jenna, you were totally reading my mind. Thank you for jumping in there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all. Feel free to post this, tag us in it, send it out. Jessica, my team will get you all the link for it. Encourage people to watch it. I know it's 30 minutes, so they have to watch it to hear what we just said. But post it with some comments, whatever you need to do to get the word out. And I'm excited about it. And I will see you all in 2.5 weeks. And if there's anything I can do to be of value between now and then, just reach out and let me know.
Perfect. Thank you, Keith.
All right. God bless everybody.